Hello and good morning. Welcome back to another episode of the Forest Lake Morning Show. I am Tyler.
I am Brendan.
And we're going to start it off as we always do with the Billboard Hot 100, the top 10.
Top 10.
Today we have, no surprise, Taylor Swift Anti-Hero is still at number one, going on 12 weeks straight.
Yeah.
Not at number one for 12 weeks straight, but she's been on the charts for 12 weeks, but still at number one since last week. Kill Bill by SZA is up from number 3 to number 2. That's off her new album. We talked about that already. Unholy has come down from 2 to 3. That's the one by Sam Smith and Kim Petras.
Mm-hmm.
We got an advertisement that popped up here. We have Creepin'. Excuse me. I'm Good by David Guetta is at number 4. That is stayed the same.
Guetta.
What am I saying?
Guetta. Unless
David
it is
Guetta?
Guetta, but
You're saying David Guetta,
David Guetta, right?
but it's G-U-E, so I'm saying
Yeah.
Guetta. Yeah, I guess you're right. Guetta. That seems
I've
like
always heard Guetta. Maybe it is Guetta. I'm pretty sure it's Guetta.
You might be right. That might just
Yeah.
be one of those names where it looks like Guetta, but you know it's not pronounced that way.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just looking out for you.
I appreciate that. It's too late. I already said it ridiculously.
I think you said
wrong,
it last
so-
week and potentially the week before.
Well.
I let it slide.
I appreciate that. They're at number 4. We have Creepin' by Metro Boomin, up from number 6 to number 5. The Weeknd, Die For You at number 6.
I looked that song up, by the way.
I did too.
It's like 2016
Yeah.
or something like that. Crazy.
When you said it last week, I was like, man, maybe, is that song really old? I feel like Brendan wouldn't say it's from years ago if it wasn't from years ago.
Yeah.
Turns out it is.
Old.
So I'm curious, is it a TikTok trend? Is it in a TV show? Is it on a movie that's
Yeah.
resurfaced it?
Yeah. Something.
Still a good song. It's the Weeknd. That's at number 6 from number 8 last week. Rich Flex by Drake and 21 Savage at number 7, down from number 5. As well as Harry Styles at number 8, down from number 7 last week. Bad Habit by Steve Lacy at number 9, consistently for 2 weeks straight. And then Zach Bryan has broken to the top 10 with Something in the Orange.
I don't know if I've heard that.
I haven't either, but
We'll check it out.
Zach Bryan, doesn't Evan Hutchins work with Zach Bryan?
Zach Brown.
Zach Brown?
Zach Brown Band.
That's a shout out to our
Right?
drummer on
Potentially. I don't know.
our new song. He's done the drums. He's a country guy out of Nashville.
Evan's awesome.
Evan is
Yeah.
awesome. I will say also number 11, Creeping Up, Golden Hour by Jake, but JVKE. This guy's that TikTok guy.
Yeah.
Great song. It's an awesome song. And this is kind of going to get into what I was going to talk about later today with TikTok and what it kind of takes to be an artist. But before we get there, let's hit it off with some new news that you got for us here, Brendan.
I have I don't want to say like conspiracy news, but it's it's gonna be one of those alleged stories.
Allegedly.
TikTok. So you mentioned like, hey, Die For You is coming back. It's been on the charts, but it's from 2016. Maybe it's like a TikTok blow up or it's in a movie or whatnot. TikTok apparently has a secret heating button. A heating button, right? So their employees can take clips. They'll find clips that they like, that they want to be trending. Click the so-called heating button. It goes through this specific algorithm and it shows up on like everyone's personal timeline.
Really?
So if they want to blow up a video, they push this button and boom.
Wow.
That's why like it would explain that videos blow up for like no reason.
Yeah.
And we've always
They
kind of
really do.
wondered like, how do these things go viral? Like they're just the most random videos ever. There's no sense to it.
This is a conspiracy.
Secret heating button. Kind of. There's been a lot of like interviews with like ex-employees and
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, it totally exists. And then it was a thing on TikTok side where it would be like an algorithm for them to sell. Like they can go out to other companies and sell it, advertise it. Like, hey, we have this button that can get you hundreds of millions of views. So, does it exist? I don't know. It would make sense, I think.
Yeah, I would believe it, especially with technology nowadays and how you just kind of do see things that blow up out of no reason. Man, I hate that we have to keep talking about TikTok. I fucking hate TikTok. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm sorry to cuss, but I hate that app. It's why we're not even on the app. I think our accounts exist, but we're not on the app. And I'll get into that a little more later. I think both of us can kind of dive into it. But God, I hate the app. I've seen it's been getting banned at more places, like certain, like I think
Yeah.
University of Austin just banned it on their devices for for the campus.
I think India, like the entire country of India, banned it
Yeah.
completely.
I
'Cause I know a lot of them are just like on state devices, or like if you're in the military, you can't have it, or if you know the government, you basically can't have it. But now you're seeing like whole countries banning the app.
Yeah.
And I mean, the U.S. has been trying to get it off the App Store for like years. It's never really happened. Nothing's come out of it, but we'll see.
We will see what happens. I mean, Vine did fail. I'm not saying TikTok will. TikTok, obviously, I think is probably going to evolve and still survive. It's just so insanely massive. But
Yeah.
more on that later. Let's jump into just some other news. Governor's Ball, Music Fest in New York City, Randall's Island. I wanted to
let's back up.
back it up.
Let's back up. What is this Governor's Fest?
Governor's Music Ball. You never heard of it?
No,
It's like one of the biggest music festivals in the United States outside of like
Really?
Coachella and
I've never heard of this.
Lollapalooza
And then also Randall's Island. Donde está?
in New York.
Yeah, but where in?
Here's
You're telling me there's an island.
Here's
Where
a
is
map.
it?
It's right here. I don't fucking know. It's on and New York's pretty big. I would assume it's
Okay.
somewhere, I don't know, by Long Island, or are there islands up there? Anybody in New York want to let us know? Let us know.
Oh, I wonder. No, maybe not. But you remember that one venue I showed you in New York,
Oh yeah, up New York.
over towards Long Island?
That's a cool venue.
That was an awesome.
Remember
venue,
the name of
right
that?
on the water. I don't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, Governor's Music Ball is a big music fest. It just had tickets go on sale last Tuesday. So tickets still are on sale. They're kind of pricey. I think 2-day tickets are like $300. 4-day or the 3-day event tickets are $500, and that's not including the VIP packages they have. But the lineup's pretty good, and I wanted to bring this to the attention of our viewers and you, just because it's a music festival that I've always wanted to go to. Since I really heard about it when 21 Pilots played there a couple of years back. It looks like a really well-run venue or event, if you will. And the lineups seem to be consistently good. Friday, they're having the main line be Lizzo. Saturday, it's going to be Odessa. And then Sunday is Kendrick Lamar featuring other acts like Diplo, Lil Nas X, Lil Baby, and even our alma mater, School of Rock. Actually, two of them, School of Rock Queens and School of Rock Brooklyn. So shout out to School of Rock for getting their way in there. Typically how that works, and how I'm going to assume it works, is they're probably going to be in like the daytime on like a very small stage somewhere at the music venue, as it was for us at Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, oh yeah, we played Lollapalooza. Well, we played Lollapalooza
On the C stage.
on the C stage,
At
way
noon.
hidden back at like 12 at noon.
I think honestly the best part of like being involved in that and like playing at that fest is getting the wristband where you can go anywhere.
Yeah, you can go anywhere. So it's a cool experience for the children and the kids of School of Rock to just get in that lineup and like go there. It is cool, even though they're maybe at a daytime slot and there's no one there. I don't think it changed how we played. We still rocked out. You should always play. You should play for one as you would play for 100.
There was still a crowd there, I would say.
There was a
and then
good
you have a
crowd
lot
there.
of like passerbyers. There's just a lot of people at a fest like Lollapalooza.
Right. And obviously you're not going to throw School of Rock on the main stage at, Lollapalooza when nobody knows who they are.
No, but
What?
a couple guys did get pulled for Portugal the Man.
Really?
I think they went and played with them
From our
group.
Our group?
They came up and they picked one or two guys, and they went on the main stage.
They
with
didn't pick
Portugal.
us, huh?
No. We didn't make the cut.
That's not a reflection of how good we are, I guess. I will say when my brother did the tour, and they actually like toured, not just were touring in the city of Chicago like we were. When they did their stop at Lollapalooza, they actually opened up for one of the main acts, which I thought was awesome. So they got very lucky to go on stage before one of the headlining acts in front of a crowd of thousands at Lollapalooza and play 2 or 3 songs. I don't know how much that costs, so maybe that's why they don't do that anymore. Or just
We got the budget tour.
yeah, we got
Is
the
that what it
budget
was?
tour. But so anyway, yeah, go ahead and get your tickets if you want to go or check it out. I would love to go and or just have gone and tell you how awesome it is, but I can tell it's a definitely top 5 music fest in the United States.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got
What you got?
Flowers. We talked about this last week, right? Miley Cyrus, her new single, Flowers. I don't hate it, by the way. You give me
Is
this
it
look
coming-
like it's terrible. I don't hate it.
Is it coming around to you?
It's just, it doesn't, like, I don't know. It doesn't blow me away. It's a good song,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. She definitely has better songs. Like, I'm not going to get into it.
Is this why
But
you're
anyway.
bringing it up? Well, yeah, what are you bringing up about it?
No, so it just broke Spotify's 1 week streaming record.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Why does it seem like every
New
new
song
song
is
is,
breaking
going to break
something.
the record?
It's social media, I guess. Just blowing songs
Yeah, but I
up.
wouldn't. I like
But-
this song, but I don't think it's that good.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like Anti-Hero. Like, it's a good song. Is it amazing that it should be on the top 10 at number 1 for 4 weeks straight, 3 weeks straight?
Yeah. Well, it's surprising it broke the streaming record because it's not even in the top 10. It might be next week. We might see it in the top 10.
Taylor Swift and Jack Antonoff, the producer on that, they even said like they didn't think this was going to go number 1. They're like, what? I don't know how.
On
It's
Anti-Hero?
number 1. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but anyway, so Flowers from Miley Cyrus broke Spotify's 1 week streaming record with over 101 million listens and counting in 1 week. That was just a 1 week cutoff. 101 million in 1 week.
We got a long way to go.
That's bonkers.
I'm assuming the previous record was probably Taylor Swift. Had to have
At
been.
probably like 100 million.
Yeah, at 100 million. I thought there was a previous episode where we did talk about that, where we talked about something about Taylor Swift and the records that she was breaking.
Yeah, I mean, well, she was breaking like a record a week
Yeah.
when she released this album.
She'll continue to break records. Interesting, though.
Yeah, she was number 1 on the chart for like an insane amount of time, and I think that was a record.
She probably holds a number of them, too, for Spotify streaming.
Yeah,
As
well, I
well.
think she broke her previous record too. Like,
Did she? Oh,
like
that's
the-
what it was. Something
the
about her
person-
breaking her previous record.
Yeah.
That's what I mentioned.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back to that episode. I feel like there's a few things we talk about too much on the show. Taylor Swift and
TikTok.
Speaking of TikTok, let's bring it back.
What do you got?
I was reading a really wonderful article, and I'll link it in all the platforms that this is posted on, YouTube and Spotify and such. It was a really interesting article. It was actually a podcast of these two gentlemen that are in the music industry. And
Called
they,
the Forest Lake Morning Show.
yeah, no, they had a very good conversation about the music industry and kind of where it's going as it relates to everything going on with Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift is probably predominantly owning the market with everything she does. I mean, whether it's marketing, whether it's making music, whether
Right.
it's being in the movies, going on tour. They got real about what it means to be an artist. And this is actually kind of crappy to talk about because we are artists and we have our goals and our aspirations ourselves. But TikTok, I think personally, and just other, advancements of technology in the industry have ruined the ability for artists to even have a chance. And what I mean by that is the unknown, unsigned artist doesn't exist anymore. It's just never going to be a thing like we've seen with Coldplay or U2 or any band in the 80s, 90s or whatever, where you hear about this like unknown band from nowhere getting signed. It's now a do-it-yourself. If you're not on TikTok and you're not getting likes, if you're not getting followers, if you're not getting streams and shares and such, you will not make it. It's just a fact. And if you're listening to this, you're probably not going to make it.
Oh God.
And I'm being honest. Now there's luck, there's timing that's involved with it, but labels want popularity, and TikTok gives people that ability. But the problem with TikTok is things like what you just said. You have the heating button, you have a market funnel, you have labels that can control it and push what they want and put money into things that we couldn't even compete with.
Yeah.
We can certainly try, but what it would take is posting, I'm talking probably a couple times a day, and doing that consistently weeks on end in the hopes that something will click. It's more than just putting out a good song. It's more than just going around your local city and playing shows, which is not something you shouldn't do. That's exactly what you should do, because that's what Daniela told us, like, hey, grassroots marketing.
Yeah, exactly. That was the first thing that came to mind, is like, you really have to do grassroots marketing.
Yeah.
Like, you're kind of your own label until you reach a certain point. Like,
Yeah,
you're
you have
providing
to
the
be
funding,
now.
the marketing, you're doing like every aspect of it. you know, and then once you reach that level, then all these companies come to you and say, hey, let's sign a deal where we're going to rip you off.
Yeah.
But you're going to sign it anyway.
And certainly nowadays it can be to your advantage, right? Like this Jake kid is making this beautiful song, Golden Hour. It obviously goes viral, and that's seemingly organic on this platform. But out of the how many people we think are trying to do that on that platform?
Was that the piano one?
Yeah, opens up with that beautiful piano.
Yeah, okay. It's a good song.
I mean, just think about how he's one out of how many hundreds of thousands of people making music, us in that pool as well, although we're not posting on TikTok, to try and reach some sort of virality like that. Him specifically, though, now he has that ability, and this is to the advantage of what you just said, like to go to a label and say, hey, I have followers, I have likes, I have shares. I don't necessarily need your 30-60 deal, or what was it again? Those 60-60 deals? 360 deals. Those really crappy label deals where they rip you off and take your money.
Yep.
You know, and just as a statistic here to kind of show you the other problem of this, like maybe perhaps with Jake, I don't want to say this because I don't know him or the future, but in 2020 there were a number of viral musical artists that broke the platform of TikTok. Now, the one that's maintained the most success is Lil Nas X, which we've talked about already. But less than 10% of all musical artists that broke virality on some level of success went on to have successful touring careers.
Less than 10%.
Less than 10%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the tragedy here. You can break virality, but here's the problem. These apps don't want you to leave their app to go to another app. And if you're on TikTok, how do you get somebody to see you on TikTok and then go stream your song on Spotify? You got to have a good song and tell them, hey, here's my video of the song. Go stream it on Spotify. Go stream it on Apple Music.
Sure.
The apps want to keep you contained within their apps. So it's already against you. And with that, it's so hard to build a fan base on the internet. And if you do, it's hard to sustain that because there's going to be another viral act, another musical artist, another song that's going to take over and get in your way.
Sure.
And what is the purpose of making music? Well, most money nowadays is made on touring. In the CD era, right, money was made on CDs. So I'm going to try to kind of take a break here in a minute once I explain this to kind of get your thoughts. In the CD era, you would put out a CD for $20 and then you would go tour and have cheap tour tickets because you're promoting the CD and you're promoting 60,000 fans in an audience to go back to the store and buy your $20 CD because that's where the money was made. And at that point, that was where the industry, the label, would divvy up what they believed they got and deserved and then give their crappy amount to the artist. But nowadays, because of digital streaming, it is completely flip-flop, where now you see artists selling very expensive tour tickets because their music is free. We pay I can pay $5 on a student plan at Apple Music, and I can get anyone's music instantaneously with them, obviously, as we know, getting ripped off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, would you want it the other way around? Would you rather have the old iTunes way where you have to buy every album for $10 or a song for like $1 or $1.29, whatever it was?
Well, this is the dilemma. No, I wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. No, our fans don't.
No one wants that.
No one wants that. But at the same time, why do we also see the music industry going through a terrible time where artists are getting ripped off? As we all know, as we've all talked about, and even Taylor Swift and Coldplay, they've all stood against how unfair the system is. Obviously, the top people like Taylor Swift and Coldplay, they can survive.
Sure.
Because they've already built a fan base. They have years and structure, and they're the one percenters. But for people like, there's across the board, I mean, they're just getting ripped off because of this way streaming is nowadays. And just to kind of carry this conversation into what they were talking about on this podcast was that there is an opportunity for somebody to do something very destructive in a good way, like to basically come into this field and either create something new or think of a new way and disrupt the entire system. There's an opportunity, whether it's you're a music artist and you've come up with a new way of streaming or a breakdown of how things should work, or a competitor Spotify. I mean, the future is unbelievable, And because the market is so fed up of artists, where there's even union talking, or union ideas of people coming together in a union in the music industry to stand up against record labels that are ripping the industry off, there's a very prime opportunity for something crazy to happen. Food for thought. It's obviously very negative for us to talk about that, considering, we're a band.
I feel like I just went through an entire history lesson, and like the outcome of that story was, at some point, something's going to come along and disrupt this.
I believe so. And so did they. Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to think about what it's going to be, but I mean,
right. I mean,
artists are fed up with it, with the way things work right now. They are. We should be. We get streams and we don't get any money.
Yeah.
Not that we're getting a lot of streams, not yet, but I'm saying, like, all the odds are against everyone making music right now, especially when you see the stat of how much music is being uploaded on a daily basis with Spotify or Apple Music and all these platforms.
Sure.
This is very depressing. And it's me venting, but it's also just like, hey, like, you guys got to realize this shit it's pretty messed up. And TikTok certainly doesn't help. It doesn't help the artist at all.
Yeah. Well, in some cases, it certainly can help the artist. If you get a viral video, if you get the heating button on your song, on your video.
Button. Okay, maybe, saying there's an opportunity for somebody to do something very destructive. Let me use the word creative.
There we go.
There's an opportunity for somebody to do something
like
very
you
creative.
Disrupt. I guess you can disrupt.
Yeah, I used the wrong word, but artists are unhappy. Okay, so you just have to understand that what happens when people are unhappy, they're going to try and fix that, and I think that's what's going to happen. Whether it's imagine if TikTok disappeared tomorrow. One, people will probably lose their minds because they wouldn't know what to do with their life, because all they do is
imagine
scroll on TikTok.
Going a day without TikTok, a day without your phone.
Yeah,
people would.
That's a whole other conversation. But that's particularly why I don't like TikTok, and why, even though as a band I don't lean on it, because it wouldn't be the way I would want us to go viral, because then it would be short-lived. There's no grassroots in that. You need to be out playing shows. You need to be out networking in person.
We'll take a heating button viral
video. Well, yeah, certainly we would take a heating button. But on the positive note of that end,
yeah,
we since I just ranted negativity, but just kind of a wake-up call, food for thought, really, for you to think about.
Sure.
Man, we have a song coming out.
Do we have a song coming out?
Yeah, we do have a song coming out on February 10th.
Cue the song.
What are your thoughts on this song, real quick? Now that it's coming to its release date.
I feel like I feel like we should give people maybe some warnings, or what to expect with the song. I feel like an artist never really gives their listeners warnings. But it's a long song. It's a longer song.
Longer.
It's not like Kalora Chora, is that how you say it?
From Coldplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's like a 9.5, 10-minute song. It's not like that. It's 5 minutes.
I think it's 4:59 minutes.
4:59.
Yeah, it actually is under 5 minutes.
Bear with it a little bit. But we didn't want to cut it. We didn't want to shorten it down. We said, you know what? Screw it. This is us. This is how we like it. This is how we want the song to flow. And it just happened to be long.
Yeah, on that note, I'll say this. We are just being unapologetically ourselves, because it is structurally different and it is a longer song. I'm curious what like Daniela and Evan and Mike thought of it when they heard it. And I remember, and I'll give a little inside story here, when I went to record the original vocals with Sam, like this was like in the summer of last year, I snuck home to try and get vocals done on it. He's like, you can't just have the second verse be one line, because it is.
Yeah,
right?
I remember he wasn't having that.
Yeah, and I get his point. This is literally the most atypical song. It's not going to be a radio pop hit where the chorus is in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Now that's what I love about it. It's so different.
Yeah. Well, I remember also Sam sent back a rendition with the tracked vocals, but in that second verse he like doubled it or something. It sounded so weird, and then it was like a 6-minute song. You're like,
we did negotiate a double because he wanted it to be longer, and I value Sam's opinion and everything he's done with me up to that point to work on stuff, but we just kept it the way it is. It's a very short second verse, and it goes right back into the chorus because it's such a long intro. So we thought, okay, we've already held people on so long, and here's our chorus. Now X amount of time into the song. Let's give it to them real quick again because they didn't have it.
Yeah.
That was kind of my thought process. Obviously, you'll know when you hear it. And what we're talking about now is just really for the books because you're not going to hear it for another 2 weeks. But
this song, like when I hear it, I picture like we're out in a big amphitheater playing this live at like a music fest. Sun's going down. That song comes on.
Yeah, it's definitely like a windows down, like driving along the sunset.
Yeah.
Kind of good vibe song. It's
a great release time for February 10th.
If you live in Florida, not if you live in the dark depths of Cleveland, Ohio.
Very true.
It is a song that we made to play live. And I think we're trying to do that with a lot of our songs because we don't want to just be pop production stuff that just like fades away after a few years.
Yeah.
You know? I don't think it's our sound yet, but that's the beauty of the process. We're getting better and better along the steps and along the journey. So I'm excited to release it and just be done with it and then get on with the next one.
Yeah. Yep.
But the song is called So I'll Wait, and so you will have to wait to hear it. And so you will have to wait to finish it when you start listening to it because it's 4 minutes and 59 seconds long.
February 10th. It'll be everywhere.
February 10th on all platforms.
Listen to it. Please give us feedback.
Yeah, we'll probably
tell us anything.
We'll probably keep talking about it because why would we not market our own song on our own podcast?
It's our own show.
It's our show. We can do whatever we want.
Exactly.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say that. Whoa, I'm getting angry over here. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. End of the year. We move, or beginning of the year, I guess we should say, is in the end of the football season.
Yes.
We got the Super Bowl coming up. We also have the Pro Bowl coming up.
Yeah, the Rihanna concert.
Yeah, for the Super Bowl. The Pro Bowl, February 5th.
Yeah.
Is going to be, I want to say hosted, but they're calling them game captains by Snoop Dogg and Pete Davidson.
Really?
Yeah, it's strange how they're doing it, though. They're splitting them apart. Snoop Dogg is going to go with Peyton Manning to represent the AFC. Mm-hmm. Pete Davidson is going to go with Eli Manning to represent the NFC. And they're calling them your game time captains. And so I'm assuming they're just going to be hosts, basically, when they cut back and they're just on the side.
They're just commentating.
Yeah. So a little interesting, but I like that they're bringing, I mean, Snoop does everything, but
I'm cool with Snoop.
Artists, they're bringing artists into more sports.
I think it's cool. to bring in a different market.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg's a great commentator. I've seen him commentate UFC. I've seen him do boxing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen him do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And
he's funny.
He's funny. Pete Davidson's just, I don't know.
Do you ever see that clip when he, I don't know what they were doing, but he was commentating something with Kevin Hart?
Snoop Dogg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The clip where he's like, man, I was up till like 4 a.m. last night just reading the playbook, the rundown book or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And
Kevin's like, what?
Kevin Hart's like, what do you mean? Up till 4 a.m. reading the book. I didn't get no book. Where'd you get and the guy's like, we're live in 3, 2. And Kevin Hart's like, no, I don't have where's my book?
And they should have brought Kevin Hart into it.
Yeah.
Because that dude's hilarious.
I think they're a good combo.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll give Pete Davidson a chance. Maybe.
Yeah.
We only know one thing about him. He's got a massive schlong. Isn't that what?
I mean, he like dates every girl.
Because he has a massive, you know what?
Interesting.
That's why they date him. I think they publicly came out and said that. But we'll give him a chance. We'll see what he says, commentator-wise, with football. But
I do have to wrap up. We do have one notable death, unfortunately, this past week. David Crosby. David Crosby passed at 81. He was the co-founder of the Byrds and Crosby, Stills and Nash.
David Crosby died?
David Crosby passed.
When did he die?
This past week, just a couple days ago.
David Crosby's a legend.
Yeah. Yep.
How'd he die?
I don't know. The family's very, they want respect and yeah, crazy.
Wow. 81?
81.
That's that's a pretty good life.
He had a good life.
He was a rock star. I mean,
yeah.
You make it to 81 as a rock star? Come on.
Yeah, great songwriter too. And guitar player, so R.I.P. David Crosby.
Why do you got to end this on a bad note?
I had to throw it in there.
You should have done that. I didn't know you had all that information. I didn't know. I would have.
Yeah.
I talked too long, and now you just.
No, it's all good. We were flowing. But that's all I got.
All right. Thanks, Brendan, for ending this on a terrible note. Hopefully next week we ended on a great note and started off on a great note.
Yeah.
But rest in peace to David Crosby, and T's and P's, thoughts and prayers to his family. So
Yep.
That's all we got.
That's it.
All
That's
right.
a wrap, baby.
Then let's wrap it up. Let's get out of here. You guys go enjoy your wonderful Sunday. And we will see you in 1 week right here for another rendition.
Rendition.
Can I use that word?
Sure.
For another rendition of the Forest Lake Morning Show. Cut.
See y'all.